Hey, everybody, this is Scoots. This is a new kind of experimental version of Sleep With Me we've never done before. So welcome. These are just bedtime stories from our podcast, Sleep With Me. And to make them feel fresh, these ones are from a couple years ago. So if you're a regular listener, you might get a refresh. And if you're new, these are just bedtime stories from a show called Sleep With Me. They're strange, they're meandering, they're a little bit different. And all this is made possible by listeners like you, regular listeners like you. And so I just want to let you know that's how we're able to put the show out. And so if you are a fan of Sleep With Me, you listen to it on a regular basis, please consider supporting the show. You get ad-free episodes, you get ad-free story-only episodes, tons of other cool stuff at Sleep With Me Plus. That's sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. But if you're in a position and you have some money every month, or you say, hey, maybe I don't watch that streaming service, I'd rather give it to a podcast, think about your favorite podcast. It doesn't have to be Sleep With Me, and support that podcast. If it is Sleep With Me, I consider supporting the show, would be great. But if it isn't, or there's a podcast you listen to way more, brings you a lot of value during the day, please support that podcast. Podcasting is going through a different time right now, and your favorite podcast, the one you get the most out of, could use your support the most. So consider supporting it however they request support. Just check it out, like listen to the show or check out their website, or consider supporting Sleep With Me. If Sleep With Me, you say, oh no, Sleep With Me is the one I listen to the most, sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. Thanks. Friends beyond the binary, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I hope the sea of dreams is fair for you, because it's time to set sail. Kind of, like I say, but you never left, you set sail, but you never left the harbor, Scoots. You were just puttering around. And I'd say exactly, because it's time for Sleep With Me, the podcast that puts you to sleep. Hey, everybody, this is Scoots. This is a quick message here. If you get a lot out of Sleep With Me, if you're a regular listener, you like these new things we're trying out, like the story-only version of the show. If you're new, don't worry about any of this. But if you're a regular listener of Sleep With Me, or you're a regular listener of any podcast, if you have a favorite podcast, and it's not Sleep With Me, that's totally cool. If you have podcasts you listen to way more, or you get way more value out of, I totally understand that. Consider supporting that podcast. Podcasting as an industry is kind of going through a weird phase right now. Direct support from listeners is going to be, it seems like it's going to be the future of most shows. And so consider supporting the podcast you really love. And you could do that. You could find out, you could listen to the show and see how they ask to be supported. Or reach out to them and say, hey, how can I support you? Or if you can't afford, a few dollars a month, you say, hey, how else can I support you? But if Sleep With Me is the one, Sleep With Me Plus is the best way to support Sleep With Me. Sign up for Sleep With Me Plus. Not only you get unbelievably sweet different ways to listen to the show, but it's a huge help for us to be able to do stuff like this. But yeah, think about what your favorite podcast is, and then go ahead and go to their website, or if you already know how they like to be supported, support that show. Thanks and good night. All right, everybody, it's time for another episodically modular episode of our series, Tales of Lady Witchbeard. They're tales of Lady Witchbeard. She's a witch, she's a pirate, she's a heroine, and she's in the middle of an adventure that's episodic, so you can listen to it in any order. Just in case you missed all the other episodes, those are just prequels. You say, wow, just like the movies, I could go watch this now that I've seen this episode and slept through it and not listened to it. I could also fall asleep to all those other episodes too, and I don't really have to worry. Now, if you're a completist, I totally understand it, but it really is designed so you could start now. I think this is episode 9. Then go listen to 1 through 8, or listen to 8, 7, 6, 5. And you say, oh, wow, that's a fun way to do it. If you do that, let me know, because that's cool. But if you want to listen 1 through whatever, you could listen. Yeah, you can do it that way, too. That's the beauty of podcast technology, making a playlist in your podcast app. But I just wanted to put you at ease that don't worry, I'm going to catch you up on everything. I guess that's what I'm supposed to be doing, but I got distracted. So what's happened with, or who's Lady Witchbeard? She's a witch. She's a pirate. She lives in the world of the 13 seas, though she's been in our world too. That's how I came across her. I was working as Daw at a bed and breakfast where she was, 2 different times I came across her doing some R&R. As the old, that's how pirates relax. Get that, and she said she didn't find it funny either. It's funny because she did not find that funny. Even though, and then I said, Lady Witchbeard, did I tell you? Are you here for R&R or R&R? And she said, I'm resting, please. So I met her the first time. We had some adventures. Then she had to have some more adventures to kind of clean up after a mess I left behind. Then she needed R&R again. Then I came and I said, once you've been on an adventure with Lady Witchbeard, life is not as quite as adventurous. And, those of us that have worked with amazing leaders before, once you've been under, I don't know if that's being under her tutelage, but it is it is a safe place to be in. When you're working with Lady Witchbeard, even when you're on an adventure, you feel safe and cared for. So, of course, I wanted more of that. So eventually went on another adventure based on the song Brandy, or based on the fact that I kept playing that. I kept trying to play songs that would, so Lady Witchbeard said, there's a myth like that back in our world of the 13 seas. Meanwhile, at the same time, Lady Witchbeard had let her piracy credentials run out with the Pirates Guild, or whatever the other words you use that I always forget, certifications. So she was supposed to become an apprentice to this pirate Don Dankle to kind of reacquire her certifications. She didn't really like that, but then we headed off on this Brandy adventure. Then we kind of at first ran afoul of Don Dankle. Then Don Dankle ended up going under Lady Witchbeard's tutelage because Don Dankle, I guess, was so comfortable. The Piracy Guild seems like it's not functioning right now. So Don Dankle, this never happened in an episode, but I would assume, because it was a private conversation, I wasn't there, that they had a conversation like, Lady Witchbeard, I'm comfortable as a leader, but you're even, maybe I should learn some more leadership from you. Something like that. I'm just guessing. Work together as equals with you at the head. Those aren't conversations a lot of people have. They say, wow, you're a little bit more competent than me. So I'll be I don't know, but I'm just guessing that was a conversation. It could have gone, could have been Lady Witchbeard could have been leading that conversation too. But so that's how Don Dankle and and Lady Witchbeard are on this adventure. We thought we were going to look for Brandy, who loved the man who loved the sea. And then things, as happens, we got more than we expected, especially in a sleep podcast way. We found out they were mining some sort of plant roots, and also they were looking for some sort of binding agents and newt excrement, and it makes some sort of gel that seals up the sea. We also learned that Brandy was working with, again, when you're in the transverse plane, much like cinematic versions of the multiverse, a lot of stuff can happen. So apparently Brandy's working with some other witch from the past, from the witch's past, some dominant figure. And so we found that out by returning to Lady Witchbeard's home. And the witch world, so there's a world of the 13 seas. That's where our adventure mostly takes place. There's our world, whatever, Earth 2 or whatever they're calling it nowadays. Earth 1.0, I don't know. Sometimes I get it mixed up. And there's also the witch world, but then there's the old witch world, still in the witch world, but the past. This dominant figure is from the mythology of the witch world. somehow she came forward into the present of the witch world, which is parallel present in our world and the 13 realms, 13 seas. She's working with Brandy. I don't know. I can't remember how much more we inferred, but we know Brandy and this dominant, they're working. Oh, we do know. I think they're planning on sealing up the sea or gelatinizing the sea. Maybe, I don't know if this might be, I may be doing some exposition here that I would like that, like Lady Witchbeard's like, this was exposition for the episode, Scoots. And I say, well, in the episode, I'm Daw. But so they're planning on turning the seas, all the 13 seas into Jell-O. And then, I don't know, somehow that would make commerce more efficient for the witch world and the world of the 13 seas. Not benefit everyone, obviously. But those, those ones, like, whatever, turning the wheel. So, yeah, I guess that's it. Like, so Don Danko, Lady Witchbeard, and I, we had escaped from the witch world. Well, we were still in the witch world, but we're not there anymore. We got out of the witch world eventually. We were hiding out because Lady Witchbeard's family tried to make a deal to either get Lady Witchbeard mad or to turn us over to the whoever this other figure is. I don't know if I caught their name. And so we got away from that. Good news. And yeah, so we're on an adventure. I guess our next move will come up when the actual episode. And now our Hollywood announcers here, giving us their time, giving us their gravitas or gravitas. Oh, I say whoa. I can't even say gravitas or gravitas without getting distracted because there's so much of it oozing. He's like a center of gravitas that I revolve around. Mr. Antonio Banderas. Friends beyond the binary. Is the ladies, is the gentlemen, is the boys, the girls. It's time to have an adventure in tales of Lady Witchbeard. Splish, splash, yeah. Also, these, congratulations on 1,000 episodes, Scooter. I know it's, when we're recording this, is coming up, and then we'll be at, I don't know what episode this will be, like 20 or 30. We're in uncharted territory, just like when you're on an adventure with the Lady Witchbeard. Thanks, Antonio. So you're going to be able, I heard, I did hear some sort of click with your mouth noise. I think it might be there. So I don't know if you're following all of the protocols, that, I just wanted to make sure since this episode 1000, I'm just trying to, let's touch base. Maybe we can make it we could talk about it over a game of Chrononauts or something. Maybe we could listen to maybe watch some Sha-Na-Na and play some Chrononauts. Okay, Scooter. Okay, thanks. That's Antonio Banderas, and this is Tales of Lady Witchbeard. Okay, Lady Witchbeard, Don Dangle. Let me just see if I understand everything clearly. So, there actually is a man who loves the sea, and you're thinking that it's not a metaphor, that he loves the sea, not in I guess it is. Isn't love? Is love? Here's the question, Lady Witchbeard: is love figurative and metaphorical and tangible? Or is it, I guess you'd say sometimes it is. Or if you were if I talked to you, if I paid to talk to you, you'd say, well, I don't know, Doll, what do you think? And I'd say, well, I think I just said what I think. I said, is it making something out of nothing at all? Okay, probably shouldn't go on another song to get distracted. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. It's simple. It's the one thread we haven't tugged on. We've seen, it's one thread through this whole thing. Oh, so this is like that sweater song? I don't know, dog, but this is, think about the whole journey we've been on. And in some sense, I didn't even realize it either, but we've been looking for the man who loved the sea the whole time. But we were looking through the man who loved the sea. There is a long-standing myth in the 13 Seas, of a man who loved the sea, and it's not just one it's not a homogenized myth. There's different myths in different regions and different seas, mer people or cities under the sea or strange myths, I guess what you're saying, is actually, oh boy, I'm not believing what I'm saying. It's actually correct. Sometimes it's been figurative. Sometimes it's been more metaphorical. And sometimes I guess you'd say it's been tangible. There's been proof. So this is our last, otherwise, and I know this is strange coming from me, but not after dealing with my family and old community. At this point, I don't think we need to have direct conflict with, as things unfold. We need to get more information so the man, you're saying the man who loves the sea is real. Well, dog, you're going to find that out. And you're like, so is that why you're buying time? Don Daco, could you talk to Dawn and maybe help Dawn get just to quickly, suck on this gumball so that Dawn can communicate with some fish and we can find out if there is a man who loved the sea. So Dawn, you just suck on that gumball because we really need you to talk to some fish to find out where the man who loved the sea will be. Okay, but so, okay, I'm going to put the gumball in. Which fish should I talk to? Well, we're at we're in the we're in the herring capital here. And so talking to all these herring, one of them will know because this is the area where all the 13 seas, all their business is talked about. Everything, every tangent we could ever possibly go on. It can't explain it more. Just take the gumball, please. Okay. So, anybody know about a man? You were listening to our conversation. How you doing? Oh, you got all the info? Yeah, so, how do I speak fish? I don't know. I just sucked on this gumball. I made some friends with some newts earlier. And I'm looking for a man who loves the sea. Not in a, obscure, like in a way that could be metaphorical or figurative, or here's a question, probably not for you herrings, but am I like, so what you're hearing is somehow not, it goes beyond words to something that makes sense in your minds, I guess. Hopefully, like the translation, I read this book recently. And the person, like in the book, a fictional character in the book, Les, won an award but in a place where his book was translated, and he realized that the translator had kind of upwritten his book in the translation. So hopefully that's happening here with my communications with you. But you know what I mean? Like, and just like all of you herrings, I'm guessing from what Lady Witchbeard said, love discussing what's going on in the world. Some may say gossip or rumor. Oh, beyond the sea, in a place of legend. Okay, can you tell me more? What would a place of legend be like? Or what would this place of legend? Okay, safe, withdrawn. Oh, but he's going to stay there forever. Okay, it's an isolated place. Does it have a name? Beyond the sea. That's what you call it. Are there other so it's in the, is it beyond the sea or okay, it's a sea beyond the sea. Okay. Are there there's sea creatures there. Okay, is there any other stuff I need to know about? Like, is it easy to get to? No. Oh, so because he's not coming back? So, what do you mean? Oh, it's a sea you go to that you don't come back from? Is it a figure? Is it a real? Oh, it's a real place, so it's not. So it's tangible. It's not figuratively. You could come back if you could get back, but you can't get back. So you could, okay, so that's literal. You can't get back from there. But that's only possible. Oh, that's weird. I never thought to discuss this with herrings or anybody. So something's only impossible, literally impossible if it could be possible. That's quite a tangle. Because if it was impossible, then it'd just be, then it could be anything. Maybe I don't quite maybe, is there a way for me to talk to you and have you translate my thoughts back to me? No, like you can't translate my thoughts into something more sensible, huh? Okay. So any other stuff I need to know? Because I got to explain this in my own language without a gumball to interpret to Lady Witchbeard and Don Danko. You could see them up there, huh? They look pretty cool, huh? Okay, so no, that's all I need to know. Okay. All right, thank you so much. No, you have a great day. I've always wanted to say that to anybody. Okay, bye. Hey, Don Danko, hey, Lady Witchbeard. Am I speaking in fish or human? Oh, I guess so. Oh, yeah, melted, huh? Okay, so it didn't take much. So they knew exactly who we were talking about. And they said so the man who loves the sea's real. I thought that would take more time to figure out, but he's real. But apparently he's in a place beyond the sea, which made me think of something else. But they said not beyond, not that beyond the sea, like a sea beyond the sea, but a real sea. But he's not coming back. So I don't know. Does that mean we shouldn't go find him? And let's see, very isolated, never coming back. Other sea creatures there. So that's what I have so far. Oh, thank you, Daw. Well done, Dankel. It seems pretty clear that it's the 13th sea. Yes, Lady Witchbeard. Yes, Daw. It's the 13th sea. Place you can't return from. Beyond the sea, beyond the sea. I don't know, Lady Witchbeard. I'm going to have to trust your judgment on this. We can't, the thing is, we can't even get there. Not only is it impossible to come back, it's impossible. I've never heard of, I've heard, of course, we've all heard of people going there, but not of coming back. Okay, so just want to touch base with both of you again. But you're talking, this is a real thing. This isn't like a big farm in the sky This is a real place, but it's impossible to get there and impossible to come back. Is it paradise? Thank you, Don Dankel. So, Dawn, it's a real place. It's the 13th sea that you always said there's only 12 seas on the map. But, well, there's a lower sea, Dawn. And it's a bit of a phenomenon, and we're headed there now. And there's a lot of currents that go there. There's a rift in the earth. I think in your world you have rifts in the earth, and you have tectonic plates. And to use that analogy or those scientific concepts for your Daw, this tectonic plate would be much lower than all of the other plates surrounding it. So it's like a lower sea, but seas flow into it. They also, flow around it, because otherwise you'd say there's all of the seas drain into 13th Sea. It's got some mountainous regions and some upwelling, and that part's confusing, but basically there's no way to get in because it's much lower. It's not like 10 feet lower or 100 feet lower. So we're presuming with what you're saying is that if you went to the 13th Sea, no one's ever come back from there. People have been at the edge of it or close to the edge. Like you can even see as we're approaching, even at a distance, this mist flying in the sky. But if you were to go over a giant rift level waterfalls, is the way you might describe it in your world, there's not a way to get down there. So that's what Don Danko means when it says there's a one mountain range that overlooks it, but all you could see is mist in the waterfalls. And we'll be able to do it because between Don Danko and I, it's not a very smart idea to go. There's some sea currents that most of the sea creatures, now some sea creatures end up in there by accident, but most of the sea creatures in the world of the 13 seas, their systems are hardwired to go to these kind of like jet stream currents in the ocean that are due to upwelling, and I don't understand the physics of it, Don. But if you get in that, it'll carry you away like a river within the sea, away from, like there's equal poles almost, so you could be one or the other. And I think that's due to, I don't know. But so, it's not due to magic. But so you can get to this mountain range and look down, but all you could see is mist. And I think that's a good place. So that's where we're headed. Like you said, by the power of Earth's here, but that's not what's happening. So I don't know how we're going to get down there. Everyone fell asleep while I was talking, even I. Now we're here on the mountain. We just have to climb up around from the beach there. But yeah, so before you fell asleep and Danko, that's fine because we needed some time to rest. I don't know how we're going to get down there. And then if we do, yes, it is technically, no one knows, no one's ever come back. There's people that said they're at the 13 Seas, but their stories never checked out fully. So that's what the herring meant, that it's possible to get back within the realm of all possibilities, but it's terribly unlikely. But I think that I just don't see, I think there's times your gut is wrong, or there's times that things are pretending to be your gut, and Don Danko and I have talked about this in leadership and being yourself and confidence and dignity and all those things. And your gut, sometimes all parts of us have different agendas. All the parts of the crew externally may have different agendas and thoughts. And sometimes you have to make a decision based on your gut that's not 100%. Your gut's not even 100%. And my gut is saying only 80%, Don Danko, so you don't have to go with me because I don't even know how we're going to get down there. Because if we just turn into birds, our feathers will get wet in the mist, and I don't know of any bird. So I don't know how we're even going to get down there, and I don't know how we're going to get back. Those are all 5% we won't be able to get down there. 5% and 9% we won't be able to get back. And then some percent that the man who loves the sea won't be useful to us. But I think we have to go based on 80%. I'm not 80% confident. My gut is saying I'm 80% sure we need to go there, Lady Witchbeard. And for me, I say, well, okay. We could do something based on that 20% or the 10% is doubt or 10% is at the actual logistics. Lady Witchbeard, you're doing like DAW math now. You know what I'm saying, DAW and Don Danko. So if either of you have an idea of how to get down there, let me know, and then you two can decide. Lady Witchbeard, come on. You know Don, I mean, I can't speak for Don Dankle, but you know I'm coming with you. Yes, Lady Witchbeard, I'm coming with you as well. And it's quite a beautiful view from up here, almost like we have a view from a tower. And, but you're right, Lady Witchbeard, I don't see how we could just fly like birds. Oh, it would be a beautiful view, like to glide up here as a bird. Well, wait a second, Don Danko, Lady Witchbeard. You know, one of my favorite things to misquote is like the myths around Daedalus and Icarus, because I'm not sure who those, like, if that's even the right. I know Icarus, though. They even made a game. I think it was like Icarus. It was called Kid Icarus. And what they did is, because I think about this, so they made gliders with bird wings and wax. And one thing I actually know is that when wax gets wet or cold, it becomes almost stronger, you know? And what if but they got too close to the sun, so it didn't work out for them. But if wax was not too close to the sun, what if we were birds with wax and bird feather gliders to cover our wings, or that we could put over our backs when we get closer? You know what I'm saying? And then we glide on those gliders that technically, and then if we get through some kind of mist or something, we can still navigate. You know what I'm saying? Because I would say like parachute or balloon, but again, it's going to get so wet. You're both looking at me. I'm very impressed. And I think this is going to work. Don Dankle's already set to work doing things. And Daw, you're awake again. Yeah, Don Dankle and I made the wings, and we're both birds. It's time for you to chew on this dirt that'll make you, once again, a jackdaw. And then we'll glide down there. And I think we should rest as we glide. I'm going to cast one more spell that'll will use these actual birds. It's complicated, Daw, but you don't want to know about it. But you're actually going to, anyway, we're going to connect with other birds' minds and use their limbic systems to get down there. So let's all rest as we glide down there, and then we'll discuss things when we find a place to land. Oh, Lady Witchbeard, the last thing I remember you saying was find a place to land. And now we're on a beach somewhere, and I can see far off in the distance the mist and a giant waterfall. Well, it seems like we're miles and miles away. And yeah, that's interesting. Like our horizon, we have a shortened horizon because we're down. I've never been in a place where all the horizon around us was higher than us. It's cool. Yes, Daw, it's quite beautiful. So, Don Dankle, how are you feeling? Pretty good, Lady Witchbeard. And I noticed just some of the, there was like lots of observations of us while we were coming in. Some reason my mind retained that from my bird brain. Dog, go ahead and laugh. I just said bird brain. You're bird brain, Don Dankle. I guess that makes Lady Witchbeard and I bird brains too. Yes, Dog, we're all bird brains. And so I think, yeah, see, there's a couple of clams, giant clams coming and watching us. Oh, and yeah, Don Dankle, there's a man coming out of the sea. Hello. I'm Lady Witchbeard. This is Don Dankle, and this is Daw. Who are you? Well, hello. I guess you could call me Wilts, with just a silent M. It's interesting to see the three of you down here. It was quite creative how you glided down. And you're the first people I've seen in a long time. Oh, were you going to say something else? I'm Daw. Nice to meet you, Wilt. Can we just call you Wilt, though? Because Wilt's, it's an extra syllable. Like, I'm kind of tired from, I'm adjusting to this new place. And I was trying to think of, like, what time zone we'd be in. And then how would you calculate the time zone? It's like, then you'd also have to calculate it for the, so never mind, because I don't want to think about that too much. Well, what can I help you all with? What are you here for? Well, we're here for you, Wilt. Lady, I'm Lady Witchbeard again. And Don Dankel and I, we were looking for you. We knew Brandy. And we'd heard the rumors. I've lived in the 13th Seas for quite a while. Well, I know, Lady Witchbeard, I've heard of you. And even Don Danko, before I came down here to live, I lived in all of the 13th Seas. I loved the 13th Seas. I was in the guild. Some of the rumors are true, and some of them are myths, and there's probably been other women and men and people who have loved the sea before me. As you may learn, since you're going to be, it's interesting. There's never been a community who loved the sea down here. Yeah. So, and believe it or not, in some strange sense, this is a cyclical thing because I did replace, there was before me, when I first got here, a woman who loved the sea. But I don't want to confuse you too much with history and all those things. I'm just trying to get an idea of, you're looking at me and you're both legendary members of the 12 Seas. So did something happen? There's still, I'm up to date on some of the stuff that's happening. A little bit confusing, but I know Brandy was searching for me. And so what's happening? Did something happen up there in the 12 Seas? Well, something is happening, Wilt, and Brandy is behind it, but it's not just Brandy. It's things from my old world, the witch world. There's a conqueror of worlds, and they're planning on conquering the 12 Seas, maybe even this 13th sea. Not in a way, we don't quite understand everything that's happening. I'll be honest with you, Wilt. Part of it seems to be power, money. Maybe some of it is Brandy has some displeasure with you. And, but we're trying to find a way to put a stop to it because they're going to gelatinize all the seas. And that'll affect a lot of the things you love. May even probably would affect the water coming in here. And so we probably, maybe you should come help us. That's interesting, Lady Witchbeard. They're just gelatinize the entire 12 or 13 seas. I don't see that as possible. I was trying to put together some of the rumors I heard. I could see them gelatinizing the surface of the sea, maybe, but not the undersea. That's just not possible. And, there's machinations, the power and those type of things are always going on. But I'm happy down here, and I have kind of a role down here that I have to, I could see the look in your eyes, what happened between I and Brandy. Why am I down here? Why am I, your eyes and Don Dankel's crossed arms tell me that you believe they could gelatinize the entire seas. I could tell you it's impossible, but you wouldn't believe me. And it probably seems selfish that I'm down here, and then I'm going to stay down here. I won't be helping you. Maybe you think I'm withdrawing from the world, or it's just sad and lonely. But this is a life I don't know. Do I miss the surface world a little bit? Do I miss Brandy? No, I loved the sea. That's tough stuff to explain to all of you. So there's a part of me, but, I don't know. This is something special down here. And it's kind of all the best parts of the 12 C's, but we're down here as a group. Okay, Wilt, that's interesting. So you're not going to come help us stop Brandy and the Conqueror of the Worlds, even if there's a chance it could impact you down here? Listen, I'll be honest. I don't think this is really good. I don't think any of this is going to happen anyway. I think that someone will put a stop to it. I think it's overambitious, so I don't think it's going to happen. Can I ask you another question? Do you think Brandy is so unhappy with you that this would be just like a motivator? No, Lady Witchbeard. Brandy's hyper intelligent, hyper ambitious. It would be. There's bigger things at play. Yeah, but Brandy's always had big ideas and a willingness to slowly make those ideas happen. And the fact that our relationship didn't work out is tough. But I don't think that's Brandy's main motivator, is just getting back at me. Though I do probably owe a better it was just so hard to explain to someone that, I'm a man who loves it. You know what I mean, Lady Witchbeard? I think you know what I mean, because didn't you, it's a different kind of love, but you loved piracy more than what you left behind, too. Yeah, I guess the way you explain it, Wilt, is probably wrong. Like that, you didn't leave it behind. You just, it's tough. I hear what you're saying, and I respect it. I just feel like we do need you, and we need you. We need your help, and I'd like you to think about it one last time. And maybe you're just afraid to go and face Brandy and just face that uncertainty. But is your main motivator really just staying down here for you or for the sea? Do you really love the sea, or do you love what the sea does for you? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I do understand what you're saying, Lady Witchbeard, and you don't know. I'm not trying to. I guess I am trying. You kind of don't know everything, so that's what I would say to that. But I'm not perfect. I'm not a god. I mean, I have obtained powers while I've been down here. That's why I was able to just come out of the sea. Excuse me, sorry, Lady Witchbeard. Sorry, Don Danko. Do you have gills? It's a good question, Dawn. No, I'm amphibious, so. Wow. Wow, that's cool. Holy mackerel. What I would give to be amphibious. Well, Dawn, you have to give, it takes, anyway. So that's your answer, Lady Witchbeard, is I'm not going. Well, Don Dankel and I, and Dawn, you're coming with us, and you're going to help us find a way back. We can't, we're returning to the 12 C's, even if it's impossible, and we're returning there with you. And so, Don Danko, are you ready? Yes, Lady Witchbeard, I've never been more ready. Daw, we're going to have to take, we're going to take Wilt with us, so I'll be just follow to follow our leads. Oh, Lady Witchbeard, it's Don Danko. I was ready, but now one of the giant clams seems to be pulling me into its shell. His shell's closing. Okay, so okay. Well, you get. Oh, Lady Witchbeard, there's waves splashing me in the face. I think Wilt's using Wilt's powers. Also, Lady Witchbeard, I noticed the sand around you's turned into a mud bog, and you seem to be lowering into that watery sand that's so quick. I am, Daw. I'm going to quickly make a breathing bubble around me. And I like, Lady Witchard, I can't totally hear what you're saying because I'm getting splashed in the face. At least I'm only getting splashed in the face by waves. Man, oh wait, it keeps changing from cold water to warm water. Now I got to go potty. Oh, Lady Witchbeard. Nope, now waves are crashing on me. I wish I could get to I tried to go to Don Danko's clam, but the waves are just too strong. Oh boy, are they. Oh no, I can't see where I'm going. I don't, like, it would be the worst if I fell into the mud bog too. Yeah. Hey, well, do you see, it looks like you're standing in ankle deep water. I fell in the mud bog. Now I'm falling down. And just thinking these words, hopefully Lady Witchbeard or Don Danko can hear my thought. Oh, I just bumped in. Oh, hey, Lady Witchbeard, thanks for the air bubble. Can you hear me? I can hear you, Daw. So are you down here? Are you stuck down here? Well, Daw, we're partially stuck because I think the water's somehow under the influence of wilt. So I was trying to come up with a plan, and then you joined me. So having two people to come up with a plan's even better than one, Daw. Did you notice anything while you were up there? Lady Witchbeard, believe it or not, I did. I'm learning from you. I noticed that Wilt was standing in the water. Like, even when Wilt couldn't come towards us directly, right? Like, Wilt was always in the water, at least a little bit. Okay, Daw, so what does that mean? What does that mean? I think that Wilt's power, well, Lady Witch would have a really big advantage with this because I watched so much cartoons as a kid that there was these two twins on the Super Friends. One of them had these water powers, only water powers. So my theory, though it's different, I can't remember if that was Jaina and Jax or something. I think maybe Jaina was my first love, if that was who it was. Okay, Daw, please proceed. So I think that Wilt has to be connected to the water for the magical powers or whatever just happened. Okay, Daw. But, because I would say, the clam's got Don Danko probably just, hiding in the clamshell. I hope Don Danko doesn't come out without clothes on, like a Botticelli painting or something. I'm sorry, Daw. And it, not important, but, so we just have to get, I guess I could try some trickery to get, I don't know, we could, like me, I could try to play hide and seek or tag with Wilt. I don't know if that's going to work, Daw. Lee Richard, how long do these air bubbles last? We'll have to, we have a little bit of time, Daw, but, not too much time. Could you make one that, an air bubble that, covers all of us? Are you saying what I think you're saying, Daw? Yeah, I think I am. Like, could you do that? Like, what if we go up together and we use could you do it with the mud? Could we use the air bubble with the mud? And somehow then I I come out of the mud though. Like isn't that Samson? Oh, I guess you don't have those frame of reference, but or Adonis or somebody, like they cut their hair and then they didn't have any more powers. Okay, I understand. Okay, so now we just have to figure out how to get out of there. Well, you jumped in here, so why don't you go out and see what you can do, and yeah, just do your best, Daw. And I'll be ready. Okay, Lady Witchbeard, I'm gonna, can you just give me a boost? Okay, I'm coming out. Oh, I'm out of the mud. Oh, boy. Don't, please, Wilt, don't splash me anymore. you gotta bring Lady Witchbeard up out of the mud. I mean, I know, like you probably figured out she's down. You could see her bubbles coming up. And that's not, that's from breathing, not from too many beans. But I think I'll say on Lady Witchbeard's half that we give up, and we'll work together. How does that sound, Wilt? I just can't, I don't know if I care to trust the Lady Witchbeard. Okay, well, why are you coming? What if we play a game of tag? Like, if I tag you, would you chase me? And I probably wouldn't, because that would tire me out. What if we just, we could stay in the water. I'm not trying to get you out of the water. Like, hey, are you ticklish? Oh, I am ticklish, but please don't do that. Why would you tickle me? Well, I don't know. That's like in the movies how you get people to play, like you say, okay, and then let's tag you're it. I'm going to go deeper in the water here. Because what if, here's the thing. I don't want Lady Witch, here, come here a little closer, Wilt. I don't want Lady Witchbeard to hear this, but I love, you could probably see it on my face. I love, look at me in the water. Does the water feel the same way about me as I feel about it? I could see you love the water very much. I could see it. Yeah, I could see you having a real, water likes you. It does. I mean, it's not quite that conscious, but yeah, you love the water, huh? What's happening? You're stuck in an air bubble now, and there's no water in there. Here, I'm gonna push you out of the water too. Just to be, you're not. What have you done, Daw? There's the Lady Witchbeard. She's over there, standing there. Can you let Don Dankle out of the clam, please? Oh, the clam's just opening up because you're sealed off from the water. So you got no pot. That's this is straight from a movie. Okay. So, yeah, that's, well, the good job, Daw. Hey, Don Dankle. So, Daw, we should be honest with you. Don Dankle and I, we never had the intention of getting Wilt's help. We were going to use Wilt as a bargaining chip and take Wilt back with us and figure out who we should deal with, Brandy or the Conqueror, to prevent the sealing, to change the tide. Oh, so you didn't tell me because I'm not good at keeping secrets, huh? Well, I just didn't know if you'd feel comfortable with it, Daw. But, Will, I think you should know it now, too, because now you've kind of helped us understand that probably won't work. In some part of you must know that what you're going to do won't work either. You can't isolate yourself from things. So we're not going to lower the bubble or anything. So I think the four of us should work together now and find a way to come up with a plan so that we can put a stop to this, what's happening up there, and find a way out of here. What do you think, Wilt? So basically, you're giving me a choice. You're helping me. I know, Lady Witchbeard, and you don't have to let me out of my bubble now. Eventually, you probably will. I know part of me knew it was wrong, and I didn't really know everything that you're saying, and part of me does feel like you could be right, that the whole sea could be destroyed. And I just didn't like... So you're right, and you don't have to trust me right now. And if I have the choice between being a bargaining chip or being an active participant in saving the seas that I love, not just one sea, but all seas, I kind of saw things through Daw's eyes, too. So, yeah, let's work together. Let's rest, and then work together. Does that sound good? It sounds great. Don Danko, what do you think? Yeah, I think we should just lie down and get some rest, and come up with a plan and slowly build trust once, maybe once we're out of we got to figure out a way to do the impossible, but we'll figure it out between the four of us, I think. Yeah, thanks, Don Dankle. Thanks, Daw. Thanks, Wilt. We'll figure this out. Oh, go ahead, Wilt. Yeah, there's even more stuff that I didn't tell you, but, we do have to figure out to do the impossible. Because I don't know how to get out here. I wasn't faking that part either. So that's kind of also part of my thing, was trying to get the three to relent. But you're probably right that we could do it if we set our minds to it. But I'm so sleepy now that I'll rest with all of you in my bubble of air. I can breathe through my lungs or my skin, which is nice. Good night. Good night, everybody. And we'll be on our adventure again soon. All right, I want to thank everybody that reviewed the show on Apple Podcasts recently, and all the different age ranges of people that review the show and benefit from it. This is from Magsy Pie, 55 in Australia, better rested. Thanks to Scoots, off the charts stuff, dealing with diagnoses, 52 years old. And a lot of other stuff on top of 20 and 2021, and I couldn't sleep. I found the podcast, gave it a go, thought it was weird, but I was desperate enough to give it a couple more goes, and now I'm hooked, and I can't believe ever getting through the deep dark night without Scooter's snoozy voice leading me into summer. I'm a single mom with not much outside support, and this has been something that feels very inclusive and supportive. I have a teenager who also is dealing with stuff and has learned to lean into Scooter's soothing, kind voice, rambling through a funny stream of consciousness, and sleeping much better, too. And I'm grateful. Thank you. Easy007 from the UK. I first found the podcast maybe 5 years ago when going through a difficult time. Even before that, I had struggled with sleep. Now it's an important pillar in my overall sleep strategy, and what a difference it makes. Thanks to Easy007. DJ says it actually worked. I had some doubts about falling asleep to a podcast, but I knew I'd be nodding off before a story. Going to listen to it. Love it. Thank you. And Nola Bankey says it metaphorically drowns out those Caspers, metaphorically and literally. And I live in a house in New Orleans, so that's what I mean. Caspers are there. Axolot named Darren says, thanks, I have separation anxiety, and this helps me sleep. Just wanted to say thank you. Colleen13 says that you can count on Scooter. Helps me sleep. Sometimes takes a while. Been listening to get me through the deep, dark night since 2016. Love the recipes. Star Trek TNG. Thanks so much. And Gray Fox 2 says, I'm 9 years old, a kid. My mom was listening, and I wanted to give it a try. I love it so much. I have ADHD. I have trouble sleeping. And I'm loving it so much. From the first time I tried it, my mom said it'll keep you awake, but I tried it, and so I could listen, and I loved it so much. Thanks for my sleep scooter. I don't know how it works, but it does work, and it calms me down. Oshla from Australia says, helpful. Your voice definitely takes some getting used to, but the chatter and monotone helped me sleep, so thank you. So thanks, everybody, for supporting the show. Sleeping exists because people support the show directly by buying a membership on Patreon or support the sponsors. And, and we grow as podcasts by people spreading the word, writing reviews, or just letting people know about it, or joining our referral program that I'll talk about here for a second. Thanks and good night. Hey, everybody, this is Scoots with a tuck you in message here for our bedtime story podcast. We're trying out, and I kind of said this, free way to support Sleep With Me and bedtime stories from Sleep With Me is join our referral program, sleepwithmepodcast.com/refer, REFER. You get rewarded for introducing people to the free version of Sleep With Me, including access to Sleep With Me Plus. But most of all, just think about what your favorite podcast is, or one of your favorite podcasts, and then support that podcast. It doesn't have to be Sleep With Me, but just to support your favorite podcast, because they could use your support right now. And if you decide, Sleep With Me is actually my favorite podcast, well, wow, I'm blushing, seriously, even though it's imaginary here in this context. and support it at sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus, or listen to a show you love and see how they want to be supported. Thanks.